Is there somebody that's attending to the needs of the actors other than yourself?
I guess like production assistants or their own assistants generally, but I've never worked, honestly, I've worked on films like that, but I've never worked on a film big enough to say like, yes, I have actors, name actors with assistants and all that sort of stuff.
Well, how many minutes a day of footage can you get on a good day?
On a film set, you'd probably expect about 2 minutes of footage.
2 minutes a day?
Yeah, 2 minutes of usable film.
You got to be kidding.
No,
hey, we could speed that up, man. I tell you.
Well, but it depends. If on a low budget, I've shot stuff where I'm shooting 6 pages in a day, which is basically the way that Brooks breaks down on a film script. It's like a minute per page. Simple way to think of it. A script is about 120 pages long. Movies somewhere around that level as well. So, but I've definitely worked on stuff where you're shooting 5, 6, 7 pages a day if you need to. But it really depends. When I shot my thesis film, we had like 5 days. I think it was like 5 or 6 days to shoot the whole thing, and it was 30 minutes long.
Oh, you had to get
so we had to crank through that. Right. But the way that I sort of allotted for that was like the style that I wanted to shoot it in. We ended up shooting it with video and making it a very sort of cops-looking, film. So I know I can get a lot of stuff in the can, and also not worry so much about the production value. Actually, what we did was make enhance the production value that we had, make that work for us. Like we didn't have a lot of money to do it, but we got some cool locations. So we're like, okay, whenever something looks messed up, we want it to look like reality. So we'll hang a lantern on the bad parts, and not to show like it's a bad film, but just sort of say like, hey, it's real. It's not a perfect process. If the cameraman for this film that I made was doing too smooth of a move, I would literally go up to him and bump the camera because I wanted it to look bad.
That's interesting. So you know what shortcuts to take to suit the budget. If you've got limited money, you have to take shortcuts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what shortcuts to take. It's just sort of out of necessity. This is, okay, well, it's what I got, and this is how we got to do it.
So the same, you can get how many minutes from a TV show if you're on a day?
It depends. It depends on if it's. I haven't done a lot of scripted shows, so I wouldn't know. Probably, I would say they would shoot. I mean, I've worked on some films more as a camera assistant. They would shoot probably more than that, probably 4 or 5 pages a day. I would say, but that's kind of a educated guess. I really don't know.
Well, to shoot a 30-minute show for television in your world, it's going to take you how many days?
About a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Pretty solid work.
Well, it depends. If you're shooting a scripted show, like they'll shoot. My friend of mine works on Ugly Betty. They shoot. That's an hour show, about 42 minutes of edited footage, and they shoot that. And I think it's like 8 days. Every 8 days they shoot an episode. When I did Top Model, which is a reality show, we shot every episode in about 4 days, sometimes 3, and that's to make again about 42 minutes of footage.
Interesting.